Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. John here. So right now we're working on a bed project, and I wanted to pull out, you saw my Black Friday video, this is a DCW600 portable router. This is a bare tool. It came for $199 limited time this holiday season. You can get a 6 amp hour battery, 4 amp hour battery combo, and then you get a free bare tool. The router itself is $199. It's at the high end of the list. You basically get the router plus your wrench, which you'll need to do it. I just want to show you real quick how to set it up, and then we're going to test it out on one of these boards using a 3/8 wrapping bit. So the first thing you can do is you've got this collar here. In order to put a bit in, you can remove this collar completely, which makes it easy to get to the motor. And then there's a lock here, much like a circular saw. So we're going to take our 3/8 rabbiting bit. We're going to slide this in. So make sure this is loose. Get it loose. Stick our rabbiting bit in. We're going to leave a little bit of a gap because we want to be able to get down to the middle of the wood and then adjust it up from there. So basically this ball bearing rides on the edge of the wood, but we don't want to get it to a point where we're actually going to be interfering with the wood with our collar. So we will leave it out just a little bit so you can get as precise as you want. You can use a router table. A lot of woodworkers will tell you they actually use their hand router more than they use their routing table. Routing table is great when you're doing different projects. So all you do, you push your button to where it clicks, put your bit in, and then you can lock it down. All right. Do not plug in your battery, because this thing is hot. The great thing about this router, like I said, it's got this removable collar, these two pieces here. This spins for your depth adjustment. And then it's got the lock on here, so to lock it in, you got your on-off switch, and then you can crank it all the way up to 7. So it's variable speed, and we'll show you what the speeds look like. So in order to line this back up, there's a couple of dimples on each side which go into these grooves. Those just slide in. Make sure your latch is open. All right, bring it down, and you'll hear it click. Once it clicks, you're locked. All right, to set up our depth, and we want to kind of cut in the middle of our 2x4. So what we're going to do is we can either measure it with a tape measure and get a reference line, or we can eyeball it. So we'll do that real quick and get a tape measure. So we're actually just going to take and we'll router this top 2x4 here. We'll sand it down and clean it up. As you know, a 2x4 isn't really a 2x4, but we're going to come down. It's about 1.5 inches, so 3/4 of an inch is where we'll mark. Right here, about in the middle, or right there, 1 3/4. So that's about our center mark, and we'll use that to adjust this depth. And to adjust our depth, again, all we do, we loosen our collar, and then we can rotate this ring up and down. So we'll take and put that mark in the center of our bit. Once we're there, we're just going to lock it down. All right, now you're ready to go hot, and we'll show you with the speed how this goes. Definitely recommend wearing some glasses or eye protection. All right, so now that we've got this turned on, like I said, we're going to cut into this. The ball bearing down here uses as a guide. Keep your hands clear of this tool. It will cut your fingers off, cut your hand off. There's a blade going down there at several thousand RPM. Let's see if this even tells you. So 20 volt max, and it goes from 16,000 to 25,500 RPM. That is very fast, and it'll quickly dice off your finger, toe, what have you. So let's just check out the speeds real quick. Get a firm grip on here. Pretty quiet tool. So that's one. And then what you want to do is you want to adjust your speed of your workpiece. You don't want to go too slow or too slow. Alright, and see, it stalled. Well, I have been sanding all morning with this battery, so I would say it's probably the battery. So let's go get a different battery. And while we're switching out the battery, let's talk batteries real quick. This is a DCB204. This is an old style 4 amp hour battery. This is actually a new style. This is a DCB240 battery. It's a little bit slimmer, a little bit sleeker. It's a little bit wider. Actually, they're the same width. It just looks wider based on the case. So we're gonna try this one. The other one was a 6 amp hour. Like I said, I was sanding with it all morning. I just wanted to pause and take a second and do this video. And so we've locked it in, so our router bit's not going anywhere. So we're just gonna start down here where we were, turn our router on. Alright guys, so we got the router set up. We did one test run on this board going that direction. We're going to show you what it looks like coming this way. So I think it operates better when you're operating to the right. It kicks the dust out. Alright guys, that's it. So that whole time took me about 3 minutes to router that whole edge. That's a nice clean cut. Very straight. You know, you can't get much better unless you had a large table router. And I think it turned out pretty well. And so what we're going to do is we're going to use this for the bed frame. We're going to slide a board in there for the headboard and footboard. And we'll glue it and we'll finish it all up. It'll be nice and pretty. The main thing is the panel will float, and then we'll glue it and then encase it. But stay tuned for the bed build video. This is just a quick intro to the DCW600 router. Once again, I just used a Ryobi. This is a 3/8 rabbiting bit, and it tore right through the material. You gotta take your time, be careful with it. It's dangerous, much like any saw. You got a blade spinning at 25,500 RPM on level 7. So just be careful, because this will take a finger off or injure you.
Hey guys, as always, thanks for watching the video. If you would, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, ring the bell so you get the notifications, and keep coming back for more. Check out these other videos I've produced. If you would, click on the Start Building Your Dreams icon. You can subscribe, or you can watch any of the playlists I create. I'm into tractors, trucks, and tool reviews. Thanks again.